24 old messages. The memory is full. Please erase your messages. Message 1.
Goose! 1, 2, 3. Does it sound okay? There's a lot of side tone. The volume is very high. The telephone seems like it's working pretty consistently now. Not sure what the problem was before. A nice feel to them. I like the buttons. Now, I'll conclude this test.
Message 2.
Testing the Radio Shack. 4387. Oh, gross. What is all that? I gotta clean this studio. It's filthy pig house stock. Anyways, this is a testing message for this Trimline telephone. Over and out.
Message 3.
Now it's recording. This is the testing message on the AT&T 9120 cordless telephone. Going to exit the studio now. And this testing message should tell us whether it's a 46 or a 900. It sounds very clear thus far, with no background noise at all. So I tend to think it's a 900. Still sounds pretty clear. It's got a nice amount of side tone to it. And now I'm as far as I can go. And really there's no static. So it's got to be a 900. Probably analog 900. I don't think it's DSS. Certainly it would advertise if it was DSS. Would have thought it would advertise if it was 900 as well, because that was a selling point, especially in 1995, if that's when this is from. Okay, well that will conclude this testing message. I got to hang it up to put it. I got to put it on the base to hang it up because I can't use the buttons. Over and out.
Message 4.
I think on this one the microphone is at the top.
Message 5.
That's the fake microphone, speaking where the microphone appears to be. And now I'm speaking where the microphone actually is.
Message 6.
Liquid spill, liquid spill. Okay, that was a close call. Over and out.
Message 7.
Okay. This is testing message. Oh, wow. This phone has a nice amount of side tone to it. Okay, I'm exiting the studio now. And I'm roaming across the room. And now I'm over by the water equipment. I suspect it's probably still getting a full reception, but I'll extend the antenna now. Okay, the antenna has been extended. Now I am returning back to, I think I might have just clipped out there for a second. Now I am returning back into the studio area. And I'm going to put it back into the base to hang it up so you can hear what that sounds like.
Message 8.
For comparison purposes, I am currently speaking the same distance from it that I was on talk. Now I'm going to put it down on the table. Now it's sitting on the table about 1.5 feet from where I'm speaking from. I'm going to start moving away from the telephone. Now I'm about 2 feet away from the telephone. Looks like it's still recording, so it's probably still picking up. Now I'm about 3 feet away from the telephone. Looks like it's still recording, so perhaps it's still picking up pretty well. And I'm going to keep moving further and further away. Now I'm about 5 feet away from the telephone, which is probably beyond what would be a reasonable, typical use case. And it's still recording, so I guess the pickup must be pretty good.
Message 9.
Okay, I'm having a Leeds freak show here. This is the last testing message. This is from the base speakerphone. Now I'm speaking way into the fake microphone on the top. And now I'm speaking about a foot away from the telephone. I keep moving back. I'm about 2.5 to 3 feet away from the telephone. It's still recording, so I suspect it's picking up clearly as well. Okay. I'm going to sit something here. Now I'm about 4 feet to 5 feet away from the phone. And it's still recording. So it looks like the speakerphones, both of them, are going to work pretty good. The microphone, where's the microphone? This one, it's on the bottom. The microphone is really on the bottom, but for some reason unknown to me, they want you to believe it's on the top.
Message 10.
This is a test of the Uniden 2.4 gigahertz telephone. The side tone sounds kind of strange on here. Anyways, I'm going to leave the studio now. And I already hear some static. Actually, I hear quite a bit of static. Okay, the reception's terrible. All the way across the room. It may not be quite as bad on the other end because I believe it's 2.4 over 900, but it's just pure static. Maybe it's interference static, I don't know, but it's awful. I'm going to change the channel and see if it gets any better.
Message 11.
The channel change didn't make it any better. I'm not sure if that's static because it's out of the range or it's like interference static from the computers. Okay, I'm going to hang it up now using the end button so we can hear what that sounds like.
Message 12.
Now I'm going to hang up by putting it back in the base.
Message 13.
This is the official testing message from the AT&T 1816. Now in the side tone it sounds like it's kind of overloaded, so we'll have to see if it is in fact distorted or if it's clear.
Message 14. Message 15.
Is the outgoing side distorted too?
Message 16.
Wow, that was infuriating!
Message 17.
This is testing message number 1. I forget which handset this is. I'm too irritated to care. I am leaving the studio now and am moving to the other side of the room to make sure that the range on this phone is acceptable. I can't tell right now if it's clear or not. We'll find out when the message is being played back. There is absolutely zero side tone on these phones, which I don't like. I guess there's a little bit, but not anything that's really audible while you're speaking. Okay, so now I'm back in the studio. I'm going to switch it over to the speakerphone now. Okay, it's on the speakerphone now, and I'm speaking at approximately the same volume and same distance as I was before. Now I'm speaking a little bit further away from it. Now the telephone has been set down on the table, and I'm about a foot away from it. I'm moving back to about 1.5 feet now. Looks like the testing answering machine is still recording, so hopefully the pickup is clear. Going to keep moving back. Now I'm about 3 feet away from it, about 4 feet away from it. And this is about as far as I think would be reasonable to go from a speakerphone like this. And the machine is still recording, so the pickup must be pretty decent.
Message 18.
This is handset number 2, the honk handset. And this is the test on regular phone mode, they're calling it. And this is now SPKR, speakerphone layout, whatever you want to call it. Testing 1, 2, 3. And I'll put this back in the cradle to hang it up so you can hear what that sounds like. it didn't hang up. That is because that cradle no longer has a power supply in it, because it wants the AC. Well, I'll try to get it into the base, and hopefully that doesn't drop the connection for the power cord.
Message 19.
Okay, this is the testing message from handset number 1. This is not on the speaker phone. Going to exit the studio and go across the room to make sure that the reception is what it should be. Just about there. Didn't turn the lights on. We don't fall on anything. Okay, I'm at the other side of the room. If it's still clear, then it is working correctly. Alright, now I'm entering back into the studio room. Going to close the door. And the phone is beeping about the battery. I'm going to put it onto the speakerphone now. Okay, it's on the speakerphone, and I'm speaking at about the same distance and volume level as I was before. Now I have the telephone a little bit further away from my person. I'm going to put the telephone down on the table, and so now it's about a foot and a half away from where I'm speaking. Stand up on the carpet because it's not flat, and the battery cover is coming off a little bit. Okay, I fixed that. Now it's still not standing up because the carpet is flat. Okay, and there we go. Now it's standing up. So I'm speaking at a pretty normal volume level. That away from the phone now. It just beeped if it cut out. That's why. Now I'm going to start moving away from it. I'm about 3 feet away from it now. The testing machine is still recording, so it's probably still picking up. And now I'm going to move to about 4 feet away from the phone. And I think this is beyond what a normal use case would be anyways. But it looks like it's still recording. So it's good. I'm going to turn this one off now.
Message 20.
Yes! This was a test. Over and out.
Message 21.
This is testing message number 1 from the Uniden Anatan 2.4 gigahertz telephone. Seems to have a pretty nice side tone to it, but it's already got a whole bunch of static on there. It's got that really fast kind of clicking sound to it. And I can hear some static on the 900 side as well. So, all in all, the range is just atrocious on this phone.
Message 22.
I'm not going to go across the room with this one. I'm sure the static is just as bad. I might change the channel a few times so we can hear what that sounds like.
Message 23.
The testing answering machine cut me off as I was changing the channels. That was kind of rude. I'll hang this one up by putting it back into the base so we can hear what that sounds like.
Message 24.
This is a test from the Uniden cordless telephones. Some really great cordless phones by Uniden. It's a shame that Uniden no longer makes these phones. Okay, I'm leaving the studio now, roaming across the room. And this is to make sure the range is working correctly on these phones. I'm at the furthest point now, and I think the reception should be completely clear, as the range on these phones is pretty good. Okay, I'm going to enter back into the studio now. The dog is having an outburst. It's a daggone squeaky door again. Okay, now I'm going to switch the phone to the speaker phone. Okay, it's on the speakerphone now, and I'm speaking at about the same volume and distance as I was before. Now I'm going to set the phone down on the table. The phone is on the table now. It's about a foot away from where I'm at, and I'm still speaking at a pretty moderate, typical volume. Now I'm going to start moving back away from the phone. I'm about 2 feet away from the phone now, and I'm going to move back to about 3 feet away from the phone. And the message machine is still recording, so I think it's picking up just fine. I'm going to go back to about 4 feet away from the phone. recording, so I think it's picking up quite nicely. And I'll go ahead and turn this phone off now.
End of messages.